the video, it's you doing the hair.
Wouldn't that be funny if every
That-
day we chose something different and crazy to do? So when we start out the hangout,
yeah.
everyone's got like either huge hair or everyone's got like one eyebrow like this or something funky. You know what I mean?
I was thinking you. You was in it
Nice,
too?
Kevin.
Don't you think? Let's do it. Let's do
It'd
it.
be
I say
fun.
we
Like,
should.
yeah, the magical hair of Melissa.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know what? When you've got this kind type of thin hair like I have, you need to do whatever you can do. Get
It's
to get
magical.
magical hair, magical hair. No. Okay, 15, stand by, guys.
All right.
Welcome everyone into the News 4 and the show we don't just watch, we're asking you to join in. We're talking about hot stories, trending topics, viral videos, and the latest in your tech news. So let's go ahead and get started. And starting off this morning with a look at what is trending online. Locally, the most read story on mynews4.com for its second day is famed motorcycle family member dies after crash. NHP has confirmed that 59-year-old Kevin Ness was thrown from his motorcycle after his bike was struck by a vehicle on I-80 eastbound near the Wells Avenue exit Wednesday afternoon. An investigation into the crash is ongoing. No charges have been filed. Nationally on CNN.com, the most read story this morning is Russian criminals steal 1.2 billion passwords. According to CNN, it could be the biggest theft of digital credentials in history. Experts say they will use the information to send out spam emails and fake products. No major email providers were affected. On FoxNews.com, the most read story this morning is California couple struggling after being forced to pay deceased daughter's student loans. According to Fox, Steve and Darnell Mason are speaking out after they say that their finances have been devastated. Their daughter, 27-year-old Lisa, died suddenly from liver disease, leaving behind 3 children. Parents are left taking care of those children, all while trying to pay back $100,000 in debt. Trending on Twitter this morning is hashtag Boris. Boris Johnson has confirmed that he will run for England's parliament. The British American conservative politician has served as mayor of London since 2008. His career started as a journalist, later becoming the editor of The Spectator, and during his first term as mayor, he oversaw the 2012 London Olympic Games. All right, now on to our viewer voice segment, where we ask you, the viewer, to chat with us about some of the trending topics of the day. You can find these topics on our Facebook page about 9 o'clock in the morning, and we would love to have you live on air with us. All you have to do is have a Google Plus account and circle me, Melissa Carlson, and let me know that you're interested. All right, last Friday, Minnesota's minimum wage went up $1.25 for small businesses. So now one restaurant is telling people who support that wage hike to put their money where their mouth is. According to the citypages.com, Oasis Cafe in Stillwater is now including a minimum wage fee on all customer checks. On Facebook, users write, quote, "You couldn't just increase your prices by 35 cents for 2 meals? Don't you wonder how that makes your employees feel?" The Oasis Cafe responded saying, quote, "Rather than increase the prices of our menu items, we chose to charge a flat fee. It certainly was not our intention to put our servers in a bad spot. We're just trying to figure out how to offset what is a very real cost." So we're asking our Google Plus group, what do you think about it? Do you think that it's fair to let the customers know why their prices are going up ahead of the time? And is it fair to the employees who some people say you are shaming? Starting off first with Kempton out of Canada. Kempton, your thoughts on this? Do you think it's shaming at all to say, hey, we're going to put this flat rate on there of 35 cents because we have to pay for this minimum wage hike?
Yeah, well, shaming won't be the word that I use, but it's definitely blaming the server. The restaurant owner in this case is blaming the server for the price increase that the customer would have to pay. And that's really, like, that's the same spot where people think about the tips and whatnot. Like, put it in the meal, the cost of the meal. Like, don't put the server in the awkward position.
Clarissa, what do you think? Do you think if they're putting it on there, hey, it's a minimum wage hike, 35 cents, we have to pay it. Sorry, we've got to pass it along to you. Do you think that's a bad thing, letting people know what it is that they're doing?
I absolutely agree with Kempton. I think it is a federal mandate and local control. So that cost should be absorbed by the business, not by the customer, because the customer will waver between what they'll pay a server, and that's not part of the minimum wage calculation. It's not part of the tip. So I think that it should have been absorbed definitely by the business.
Nick, do you agree? Do you think that it should have been absorbed by the business, that 35 cent, at least for them, that's what it comes out to, a 35-cent increase, with the federal government saying you have to pay it, or pass it along to the consumer? They should be expecting, right? They live in Minnesota. They know that something's going on. They've heard it in the news. They should be expecting a hike, don't you think?
Right, exactly. I'm not sure it needs to be publicly announced why they would raise prices or decrease prices, though.
Yeah, I wonder, though, if you go in and now all of a sudden your coffee or whatever is 35 cents more, wouldn't you ask?
You might, but it doesn't need to be a news story, does it?
All right, let's go ahead and move on to our next topic. Take a minute before you eat to say thanks. Well, one restaurant actually wants to thank you for doing exactly that. According to New York's dailynews.com, servers at Mary's Gourmet Diner in North Carolina can cut 15% off customers' bills if they see that guests are displaying, quote, an attitude of gratitude before eating. Co-owner Mary Hogland says that it doesn't matter if it's a Christian prayer or a simple meditative pause. She just loves seeing people take a moment to be thankful. Many have flooded the restaurant's Facebook page complaining that she was discriminating against non-believers. Her cafe has quietly offered, by the way, this praying in public discount for the past 4 years. The dedication is up to, or the deduction, I should say, is actually up to the server. If they decide, hey, you know what, I don't like this idea, I don't want to give up 15% off, they don't have to. She says it's really up to them to decide whether or not they feel comfortable with it. But do you think that it's discrimination? If you don't stop and be thankful for what you're eating in whatever way that you do it, you don't get the discount. Agree with it. Starting off first with Nick, back to you. You like the idea? 15 seconds, 20 seconds, whatever, stop before you eat. Be thankful and then eat. Get 15% off.
It's great if you're religious and you believe in giving thanks, but reducing the price for it, it's I can see how the atheist could think that's a little bit unfair.
Yeah. Clarissa, you think it's unfair?
I don't think it's unfair. I think it's making a large statement in society that is in so much chaos. I think most of the issues that we're facing in the world now has to do with religion and penalizing for religion. So I think that this is nice that it's not penalizing religion. It's rewarding something that is just a sense of gratitude, right? And the other thing is, whether they were getting compensated or incentivized about it or not, they were doing prayer before they were eating anyway, or meditating, or because they're grateful that they have that, where others may not. So if it's incentivized, I think it's nice. It's making a nice statement in today's society. So I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's really sweet.
Yeah. What do we have on Facebook, Tony?
Alan says it's their business. I would patronize them because they're demonstrating freedom of religion, which is one of our rights practiced by the U.S. Constitution. Jeffrey says, however, I would never eat there because I refuse to support a business that brings religion into their business. Imagine if a restaurant gave discount for not praying in public. Now that would create a stir. Is this fair? No.
All right, let's go ahead, Kempton, and ask you what you think. You've got the final word. Would you patronize this business, and do you like the idea of giving a discount for a meditative state before you eat?
Well, if I like the price and if I like the food, I'll go in. I may not pray, and if other people pray and get 15% off, good for them and good for the owner for doing that. I mean, it's the owner taking less money, right? So it's fine.
All right.
If she's fine, I'm okay.
All right, you got the last word. Thanks, everybody, for being with us. We appreciate it. Coming up next, it seems like every week there is another story about a child being hurt or dying in a hot car. Can it be prevented? What can we do? We're going to be talking about it on your Wellness Wednesday coming up next. That's my kicker. What are we saying about it? By the way, if you dig into that popcorn or whatever you're eating over there, it's so loud. It was pulling up my screen. Yeah, it was pulling up my screen. Yes, it was. When I was reading, my screen was popping up. Matt, what do you want me to do with this?
All right.
Shove it in my face. Hey, Wellness, you guys are up next. Melissa, this is you.
Okay.
Bill can talk about that also. Just read in there.
Yeah, Bill can do it in the noon, don't you think?
Yeah, and that's just.
Okay.
So Bill's just not. So you two are not just like, hey, here's jalapenos.
Okay, we're just gonna say thank you to the D's for stopping it off. Okay, great. Thank you.
And then bunt cakes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Bud cakes?
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you.
Here, I'll put that down there.
Yeah, because it might be picked up by the camera. Thank you. Okay, you guys, thank you so much. Nick, it's so nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. It's been a while.
It's been a while. How's everything going?
Not too bad, thanks. And yours?
Yeah, not too bad. Things are good. Things are, you know, we've got a new show coming up here soon, so it's been very busy. We're starting to pull this over to some of the things, the Google Plus parts and whatnot, over to our Fox channel that was just, we're now Fox and NBC are owned by the same company. So we'll be pulling over Google Plus Hangouts from 7 to 9 in the morning. So if you guys are around, that's specific, you're more than welcome to stop in. I'm not sure exactly how it's all going to be working out, but we're going to be sorting it up at the end of August. So if you guys want another chance to come in, well, dang it, I've got it for you.
Do you know what the specifics are going to be?
Not yet. Not yet. I think we're going to use them again. Same kind of like we're doing here with Talker Topics.
Cool.
But hasn't been completely ironed out as of yet. And welcome back, everybody. Busy parents, mind overload, stress. What is it that leads to someone leaving a child in a hot car? We may never know exactly what the answer is, but there are things that we can do to make sure that our children are safe. Melissa Kral of Safe Kids, Washoe County, joins us today on our Wellness Wednesday to talk about this very important topic. Hi, Melissa. Thanks for being with us.
Hi, thank you.
All right. So we hear a lot. It just seems like every week we're hearing another story about another child that was either hurt or died in a hot car. Why do you think these incidents are occurring and more frequent now, it seems like?
For one thing, we're tracking them more closely, so we're aware when they happen. We've been following them, and we know that even the best parent or caregiver can have a lapse where they forget a sleeping baby in the car, or you know, they get distracted and something can occur. We know 51% of these incidents are due to a child being forgotten by their caregiver, but one of the things that often we miss is that kids can get into cars on their own and play in an unattended vehicle and become trapped at that way too. So there are different reasons that these can occur.
So sad too, it can happen just within minutes. The question is though, how long can it take for a heat-related death to occur? We know within minutes you can get sick, but it could take how long before they could actually die in the vehicle?
You know, our campaign is called Not Even for a Minute for that reason, to remind folks not to, because temperatures soar very, very quickly. It's interesting, you know, we've had this cooling trend here, but even in 80-degree weather, a car can reach 123 degrees in a matter of 5 or 10 minutes. And we don't think that because it's cool outside. And children don't cope with the heat as well as we do, and so it doesn't take very long for that extra heat to then cause the child to have heat exhaustion or heat stroke.
So this is the question. You know, you never really know how it happens. And you've seen interviews before of parents who this has happened to them. They stepped away. They maybe changed their routine, something. There is no for sure answer as to what to do to stop, prevent it for sure. But you've got some tips on things to kind of help yourself out, making sure that something like this doesn't happen to you.
We try to suggest simple things that people can remember when they're, obviously when forgetfulness can be part of the issue. One, to help keep kids from getting trapped on their own, is keep your vehicles locked and keep the keys and the key fobs away. Kids are curious and they want to play, so that's going to be how they do it. The other easiest one is put something in the back seat where your child is in their car seat that you have to have when you arrive where you go. And my example is always, don't put your lunch back there. I leave my lunch in the car all the time. Put something in there that you have to have at your destination, and that may be different each time, but that way you're less likely to forget because you know you have to open the back door to get that out before you go inside.
If someone would like more information, where can they find it?
They can go to our website at safekidswc.com.
Really good information, important for people to remember. Melissa, thank you so much for being with us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, go to Alex now with a quick look at our forecast. Hi, Alex.
Melissa, we have a beautiful day on tap for the most part, a lot less gloomy than what we've been used to. We've got some great conditions to tell you about coming up in just a little bit.
Hey, Melissa, thank you so much. Great job. We really appreciate it.
I appreciate you getting the word out.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Glenn.
Oh, hi.
Oh, my goodness. Has anybody met Glenn yet? Has anybody been on his show? Glenn, we've got Clarissa, Nick, and Tony, who's here at our station.
I know the whole gang. I've seen you guys for a while. For those who don't know, I found Melissa on Google+. I do a syndicated radio show, and while I'm reading and prepping for the show, I'm listening and watching you guys. And
that's awesome.
Fascinating.
How do you like that, huh?
Well, and then some of the topics that you bring up and some of the points that you make it onto my show. So that's
cool.
at some point I got to log in and say hi to you guys.
I hope you don't use mine.
Glenn.
Oh, no, I use yours and by name, just so you know. No.
Oh, God.
Here's the thing. We need to get Glenn in earlier to have you on to chit-chat about some of the topics. You need to take this off of here, too.
Yeah.
To chit-chat about some of the topics.
I don't need to.
And as you know, Melissa, because it's an election year, that means a lot of times that I want to join you guys. I got candidates in here, and we're doing interviews off air and so on, and I can't get in.
Yeah.
But you're usually in the background.
Well, I appreciate that. As long as I'm in the background somewhere, that's all I really care about. So where can people catch your show if they'd like to tune in and watch?
If I'm not on a local radio station, then just go to boldrepublic.com, and you can watch the show, download the show. I'm one of those loudmouth, limited government blowhards. But there's a lot of entertainment quality into it. So it's a lot like taking David Letterman and mixing them with a conservative talk show.
Oh, I love it. Don't you like that?
That's awesome.
And welcome back, everybody. Alex Sachs joins us with a look at our forecast for today. We've been having all this rain, which is so nice. We absolutely need it, but a little bit of a reprieve here and there.
I think, especially with school starting up next week, I think we really want to get our kiddos a nice weekend. Yeah. And I have to say, we still have the chance of precipitation around, so I don't want to say that, but it's not as gloomy as it's been. So, we kind of get it all these last couple weeks of the summer vacation for those kids. So maybe that's good.
Yeah, and it kind of does feel a little bit more like, you don't want to have like beautiful temperatures for their first day of school and they're like, oh, I wish I was at home. So let's hope it stays on for just a little bit.
And maybe they'll just be jumping in puddles and giving you
bring
recess in those dirty clothes. There you go. But we do want to show this beautiful photo because if you are going to be traveling, some last minute plans, I thought this was a great photo. Obviously, this was taken from the road. It was a sunset photo of Cold Spring, sending to our KRNB News 4 Facebook page. So thank you so much for sending that in. Always love it when you share your photos with us. Now, one thing you may be noticing about your current conditions outside right now, it's a little hazy. So we do have moderate air quality. That was last observed at 11. The condition is marked at 100. So one more point, and it's considered unhealthy for sensitive groups. That's anyone with any lung issues or younger people. You really want to reduce the amount of time you spend outside. Right now we're at 69 degrees in Reno, 73 in Fallon. So right now we're well below that average mark. Yesterday was a cool day considerably, considering our average is about 93 for a high, and we only got up to 66 degrees yesterday. We're expected to get warmer today. Now we did have almost a half an inch recorded for a precipitation level at the airport. So we all noticed that consistent rain we saw. Now your sunset is at 8:06, and that consistent rain is what we're certainly not seeing today. They are getting a little bit more showers over in central California, and it is going to push its way a little bit towards western Nevada, but we're not going to see the precip levels we saw the last couple of days. However, northeastern Nevada certainly is, and in fact, in about 45 minutes, they have a flash flood warning and watch that's going into effect there. Putting your futurecast into motion, a little bit of cloud cover. You can expect partly cloudy skies today and even into tomorrow. And again, keeping that isolated chance for thunderstorms as well as showers a little later on this afternoon. Here's that flash flood watch and warning I was telling you about. This is almost kind of hard to see, but it's a lot of central and northeastern Nevada aware of that. So heavy rainfall there, and that's what you can expect along with these cooler conditions for Elko, 76 and 55 with southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour, picking up some of those thunderstorms as the day gets a little warmer this afternoon. Getting into the mid-80s around Hawthorne and Fallon and Lovelock, 86 degrees there, so a lot warmer than what we'll see just north of Reno. 75 and 48 for South Lake Tahoe. Light winds, not picking up too much wind speed. They have a 30% chance of showers. I would anticipate that in a couple hours here. 83 and 56 for our capital city, and up north just above Reno, we're getting into that 80-degree mark again. Much different, hopefully, than what we saw yesterday. Just topping out in the 70s and low 70s at that. 84 degrees for Reno today. 62 the overnight low. It was a cooler morning. We're going to continue having this trend of back into the 60-degree mark for our overnight lows. A little cooler morning, though. So 91 degrees is what we're looking at for your Thursday, and then hopefully holding on to these 90s as we head into the weekend. Partly cloudy skies, but we do keep this small chance of precipitation for the next couple of days. So maybe every afternoon seeing some of those storms move in. That'll be the case for Carson City as well as South Lake Tahoe. Melissa, back to you.
All right, thank you so much for that. Coming up next, You Rant, Then We Respond, our version of the letter to the editor. When we come back, stay with us. All right, you guys, on to the next block. So McDonald's today sent us over 2 jalapeno double burgers.
Did anybody else get to eat it?
Girl, you know I don't let food go past me. I don't care what it is. I will eat it. Just no problem for me to stuff it down my face here. And I'm going to do exactly that. The double jalapeno features, so it's 2 patties, 2 hamburger patties, white cheddar, crispy. Oh, yes, honey, these jalapeno peppers are deep fried.
Wow.
Crispy sliced jalapenos with a ranch sauce.
Very, very cool.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Notice nowhere on here is the calorie count. That's probably. Wow. All right. Well, thank you, Mickey D's, for sending over some lunch for Melissa and Bill. I actually think there's 3 in here, Alex.
All a bite. All a bite. All a bite.
I told you know that you can have some of mine.
Yay.
I'd eat it. You know, in New Mexico, McDonald's has green chili burgers. That's the only place in the country that they will put green chilies on a burger for you. It's delicious.
That's cool.
I agree.
And welcome back now. Time for your next generation of a letter to the editor. Send us your tweets, your Facebook posts, voicemails, and emails with your opinions or topics that you'd like to see us address. All right, Laura writes in on Facebook and she says, how about all the issues the schools are having getting parents the info they need to prepare their children for next week? Hey, Laura, if you've got an incident in particular, please let us know. We'd like to hear about it and see if we can figure it out. Mark adds, how about the bigoted uniform policy certain schools in certain areas are adopting? Then we can discuss some of the school district employees who ridicule, insult, and even try to intimidate anyone who disagrees. Thank you for your comment. David writes in and asks, isn't funny how the recent VA scandal has faded from the headlines, but the problems at the VA have not actually been fixed. Here is how you can sound off. We would love to hear from you. You can tweet us at News4Forum, tweet me at News4Melissa. We're also on Facebook and Google+. You can email us at forum@mynews4.com or give us a call and leave us a voicemail. We'd love to hear from you. That number there at the bottom, 336-MANY, M-A-N-Y. Now in your tech news, Apple's iPhone 6 is reportedly about to debut. While Apple's not talking, those in the know say that the company is about to launch the latest version of the iPhone. The iPhone 6 will reportedly make its debut on September 9th, along with a bigger screen. The iPhone 6 has a faster processor and improved camera. Can it get better? Yeah, some people say it can. All right. You might want to think twice before sharing those flash drives with someone. This from a team of German researchers who found that anything connected via USB can be programmed to do real damage to your data. What kind of damage? Well, it can be used to take control of your laptop. It can also pose as a network card and reroute your internet use so that someone can spy on what you are doing. And that opens you up to identity theft, bank fraud, and extortion even. In some cases, the researchers say it can also happen to someone who charges their Android device using your computer's USB port. All right, coming up next, how do you herd ducks? Can they actually be herded? Herded, is that a word? All right, we've got it on your viral video coming up next. You are just clicking back there is so loud. I can't even believe it. Oh my God! Can you? You're like it's those nails. All right. So so Amanda, real quick, how much time do we have here at the end of the show? Alex, get up here. It's you and me. Bill's not here.
Yeah, you can't do that on the show.
You can't do what on the show?
Okay, there's certain things you know you cannot eat while on air. That would be...
Amanda, real quickly, how much time do we have in the show? Matt just came down and said I need to do this as the kicker. So we can go ahead and do our viral video. Let's do the viral video coming right off the top. Don't do just straight into the video. I'm going to go straight to it real quick. And then come out, and we're going to say real quickly, want to say thank you to Mickey D's who sent us over lunch today. Okay. And then did you say, Glenn, that you cannot eat on TV?
Well, no. You know the rules now. During the course of a show, if you ate citrus or too much sugar or something really hot, you're kind of screwed for the rest of the show. But if you took a bite out of it at the end of the show, you're okay.
So true. Do you know how many times I have? Do you know how many times I have literally suffered through an entire show because inevitably I'll grab a hand of almonds. Never eat any type of nuts before you go on because you always get like the little piece and it goes.
Oh, yeah. Well, and then with radio microphones, you get all the saliva going. Yeah, that sounds great.
You know what happened to me one time? One time there was a Twinkie eating contest with hot August nights, and so we had kids doing it, and so of course I had to, be a good sport and on live TV. I said, "And back to you." Took a big bite of a Twinkie, and of course Bill Frankmore, being Bill Frankmore, knew I had a mouthful of Twinkie and asked me a question, those are not easy to. I had a mouthful of Twinkie trying to answer him live on air, and it was one of the most embarrassing moments.
He is such a mean man.
I still talk about it. Yeah.
Well, see, McDonald's doesn't put sesame seeds on its burgers anymore, does it? Sesame seeds on the buns? Because, I mean, if you had those before going on air, you might have sesame seeds flying out of your mouth.
Well, and that's true. And if you're a friend, you don't say anything about it. You just let it happen so you can laugh about it later.
Did you see that?
What
Did you see that? Yes, these ducks were all over just enjoying their day, no big deal. And this guy said, get in the barn. So he goes and demands, I don't know what he says because he's speaking Russian, but he basically goes ahead and yells at them and they all line up. Look at that. Like almost, okay, not single file, but that is pretty impressive.
That is
ducks.
A lot of ducks. He's a duck whisperer.
This was Saren Burkus who posted this. It's got more than 1 million views. It's called Russian Man Orders Ducks to Attention, Marches Them into the Barn. Pretty cool. And we want to say quickly, really, thank you to, we got a surprise. McDonald's sent us over some lunch, jalapeno double burgers. We're going to be stuffing our face. We can't do it live on air. It's inappropriate. I will inhale it, so we'll just wait till after the show, but it was nice of them to send it over, so thank you so much. It's their new jalapeno, I think, double burger. Woo! It's going to be good. Have a good day, everybody. We'll see you back here at noon. You guys, thanks for coming in. Audio, ta 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 ta. That's what I do. It's my microphone dance.
Glad I finally get to say hi to everybody.
It was so nice to have you in. Come in again. Come in sometime where we can get you to chit-chat about some topics.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. That's awesome. Nick, it was so nice to see you. Clarissa, my love, it was so nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
And have a great day. And thanks for coming in. And I haven't looked at the chat, so I don't know what everybody's been talking about from the top here. But I'm here Monday through Friday. So come on in, come back.
Yes.
And hang out with us.
Perfect.
And I'll open it a little bit earlier next time so we have a little bit more time to chat.
Okay, perfect.
All right?
Yes.
All right, you guys. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
See ya.
Enjoy.
Thanks. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.